Tonight on KGW News, the arrest that ended a 4-hour standoff and put a courthouse on lockdown. Plus,
he was a really, really good person.
Friends mourn the teenager whose life was cut short in a weekend car crash. Then later, the class that's helping local people with Parkinson's feel the beat again.
And by the end of the class, we were all laughing and our emotions were high.
And the Portland Fire counting down to the WNBA season.
I'm just super excited to see what happens this season.
We check in as the team starts to gel in practice. But we begin with our top story tonight. Labor Secretary and former Oregon Congresswoman Lori Chavez-DeRemer has resigned. The move comes as she was facing an investigation into her conduct in the role. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich. Our Catherine Cook joins us now with more on the former secretary and what comes next. Catherine.
Christine, Lori Chavez-DeRemer's tenure as Labor Secretary was plagued by scandal. That includes an alleged affair with a member of her security detail and accusations of inappropriate behavior, like drinking on the job. This afternoon, the White House announced she's leaving. Chavez-DeRemer previously represented Oregon's 5th congressional district and was mayor of Happy Valley. President Trump nominated her to lead the Labor Department in January of last year. In a statement, Chavez-DeRemer wrote, quote, "While my time serving the administration comes to a conclusion, it doesn't mean I will stop fighting for American workers. I'm looking forward to what the future has in store as I depart for the private sector." Chavez-DeRemer had been facing an investigation from the Labor Department's Inspector General for potential misconduct. That investigation has already forced out multiple top staffers, including her former chief of staff and a member of her security detail who she was accused of having an affair with. The current Deputy Secretary, Keith Sonderling, will take on the role of acting Secretary of Labor. Christine.
Appreciate the follow-up. Catherine Cook reporting. Thank you, Catherine. To Longview now, where the Mark Morris High School community is grieving after a student died and 4 others were hurt in a car crash over the weekend. Our Celine Stevens spoke with the classmates of the student who died.
He was a really, really good person. He didn't want no harm towards anybody.
Eldon Ragsdale was a senior at Mark Morris High School in Longview. He was killed in a car crash on Saturday along a rural road near Kelso. He was 18 years old and well-liked by many, according to one of his classmates.
Everyone always had just a good time with him. It just sucks to see him just go. I just remember him talking about his future and how excited he was. And now he's never going to ever experience that.
She was brought to tears, thinking about the future he now won't get to see and the pain his family is enduring.
His family's going through it, all his friends are going through it, people that knew him are going through it. It's heartbreaking.
Authorities say Ragsdale was a passenger in a 1994 Toyota 4Runner that flipped on its side and trapped him underneath. According to the Cowlitz County Sheriff, the driver, a 19-year-old, was detained and taken to the hospital for a blood draw, and alcohol is believed to be a factor in this crash. Another 18-year-old, as well as a 16- and 15-year-old, were taken to the hospital. The Cowlitz County Sheriff says it's unclear what exactly led up to the crash.
There's some indication there was somebody on the side-by-side on the roadway, and we've spoken to that individual who said he was trying to catch up to them but did not. But as far as the accident goes, all indications at the scene was it was just that vehicle losing control and going off the road.
The school's principal also releasing a statement that reads, "The loss of a young person affects many in our community, and we know this news may be deeply upsetting for students and families alike. At school, we will have counselors and support staff available for any student who may need someone to talk to or additional support in the coming days."
We only had 2 months left to graduate, and I knew he would have made it big after graduation. He's just a good dude.
Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Let's get you caught up now on tonight's other headlines. A man was arrested after a standoff in front of the Lynn County Courthouse in Albany today. Police say he skipped his trial and was found with what appeared to be a gun outside the courthouse around 9:30 this morning. Police shut down the area and put the courthouse on lockdown while they negotiated with the man. He's accused of reaching for a gun at one point, and that is when the SWAT team used less lethal munitions to stop him. He was taken into custody after about 4 hours. No one was hurt. A Portland firefighter is in custody accused of child exploitation. Authorities say Andrew Ligatich turned himself in today. The investigation goes back to last year when police say they traced internet uploads of child sex abuse material to an IP address associated with a Portland fire station. Ligatich had been on administrative leave since last year. Portland police want to hear from anyone with information about the case. In Clackamas County, investigators are trying to figure out what happened to a man found dead in the Mount Hood National Forest. His body was discovered near Bagby Hot Springs on Sunday. Today, crews spent 2 hours recovering the man's remains on the steep terrain. Investigators believe he was in the area alone, and they do not suspect any foul play. Taking a step outside on this Monday night with a live look from our Rose City Skycam. Always loving the lights on the water there. A beautiful day too, but there is now some rain moving in. Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino here now with a first look at your weather impact forecast. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Christine. Yeah, there's rain in Salem already. You can see it on the lens here. Hasn't been very heavy, nothing measurable yet, but there is light rain falling in the mid and southern valley, 54 degrees there. You can see it's moving up. It's reached to about Canby. So about the Wilsonville exits on I-5, but it'll spread across the Portland area after midnight tonight, which is what we've been forecasting earlier in the day. And the rain extends well south across Oregon. So it'll be a wet overnight hours, but the rain won't be very heavy, so it won't add up to a whole lot. But I would expect wet roads for the morning commute tomorrow. You can see the rain ramps up after 1 a.m. And by about 6-7 a.m., we're up to nearly a quarter of an inch. So again, none of the rain will be very heavy, but it will be fairly consistent as we go through the overnight hours. You will hear that. So early morning hours, yes, rain, but you know what? By mid to late morning, it's over, and we'll get some sun breaks in the afternoon tomorrow. Get up to 61, so cooler. Sunset at 8:05 tomorrow. And we're going to show you a great sunset from Astoria a little bit later on and talk about what comes after the rain. I think you're going to like that, Christine.
Yeah, can't wait to hear all about it. Thanks, Matt. Central Catholic High School students stayed home from class today as staff tried to figure out how to respond to what officials called racial hate speech by one of their baseball players. In a statement, the school said the hate speech happened during a pregame cheer. The school said it began an internal review and took action, forfeiting an April 16th game with Barlow High School. It added the team itself decided to forfeit a second game on April 17th.
At least the teams are apologizing. I mean, I think kids don't really have the ability to see far enough in the future to understand the impact of their words.
I think they could just tell him to go home, punish the whole school for what one student said.
In-person classes are set to resume Wednesday. The Oregon School Activities Association says it's aware of the situation and is in communication with administrators about those forfeited games. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson released his proposed budget today. It's over 1,000 pages long and represents more than $8 billion. The city faces a record $163 million general fund shortfall, which means cuts are coming. Here's some of what the mayor is proposing. Portland police would see cuts to training and the number of patrol vehicles. He's also asking to scale back 911 dispatch staff. There are cuts to small business support programs in the proposal as well. And on homelessness, the mayor is proposing an $18 million cut in homeless shelter services, along with cuts to city outreach teams and the campsite removal program. The overdose response team would also see $500,000 axed.
The strongest cities are forged not by limitless abundance, but by the decisive moments when facing the deepest challenges and threats.
The mayor will present the budget to city councilors tomorrow morning. Then city leaders will have several weeks to deliberate before councilors adopt a final budget in June. Of course, we are just scratching the surface of this massive budget proposal. We've got an in-depth breakdown of where your tax dollars would go on KGW.com.